So this is a little set I found at Ollie's, which is a local discount store, and basically it's just books with Lego minifigures attached, or in this case, Playmobil, which I don't own any Playmobil except this. So the and what first drew my interest was this Playmobil book, which is The Hound of the Baskervilles, and Playmobil is kind of like Lego's cousin in Europe. It's much more popular in Europe, and I don't think it's really taken off in the U.S. That they're trying. It's a big deal if you're in a European store in France or Germany or whatever. Playmobil is much more popular, and they have a lot more Playmobil things. But as you can see, I got this for $1.99, and what struck me about this book is it's good, faithful. Well, besides the fact that it's just really well made, just good quality hardcover. The cover has the glossy part that's raised from the sort of matte finish here, and the book is a fairly faithful telling of the story of the Hound of the Baskervilles, and this is not made for children. This is at best it's for young adults, because this book covers some grim subject matter. Like, I love this book right here. This London, it shows all the sets. Everything is done in Playmobil in it. All of the scenes are really, really well photographed. And then the story is a pretty faithful telling of the Hound of the Baskervilles, including some of the grimmer parts, the death, the kidnapping. We have a whole section talking about Jack the Ripper with news articles that have graphic descriptions of the victims, and even hint at what the victims did for a living. It doesn't come out and say it, but it's pretty for a kid. This is some mature subject matter, and there's also this if you're familiar with Hound of the Baskervilles, you know this story is not very nice about Hugo Baskerville and what he did to the girl, and it has these amazing fold-outs, just loaded. I mean, obviously this was a real labor of love for the people who put the book together, and you may or may not know that Sherlock Holmes has recently been put into the public domain, so anyone can now write their own Sherlock Holmes book. So I think this little labor of love was the Playmobil people making a Playmobil Sherlock Holmes story, and it has. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's a little Playmobil picture of an autopsy. And as you can see, Watson's reading a book about autopsies, and you see the little Playmobil guy's head's sawed open and removing his little Playmobil brain. So there's some definite mature subject matter in this Playmobil book, but it's so well done, and I have to admit I really enjoyed reading it cover to cover and following how well they adapted the story for a slightly young audience, but not really that young. Oh man, it's just it's very clever. This is the only one of two Playmobil books that I know of, and unlike Lego, there's so many Lego books, it's ridiculous. But Playmobil is definitely trying to be a little bit more mature, a little bit more, and they're trying to. Well, I'll tell you this: when I read this, I immediately wanted to start reading Sherlock Holmes books, because it drew me into the Sherlock Holmes lore, and if anything, just to see how well this followed the original. But it's pretty grim. There's a lot of death There's use of the word hell. There's hints of bad behavior, and but some terrific Playmobil versions of these dark characters. You know, it's not a super. Hound of the Baskervilles is not a super nice story. I learned a little bit about Hound of the Baskervilles. Also, I didn't know at the time. Now, I'm not a Sherlock Holmes scholar, but I didn't know that this was the first Sherlock Holmes story that was written after the character had died in Reichenbach Falls. So, this was the first of the Sherlock Holmes comeback stories until finally they just resurrected him. But this one was just a terrific. This is the only other Playmobil book. It's the Journey Around the World. They explore some of the most exciting places around the world in this Playmobil adventure. So they're trying, and I mean, obviously this ended up in Ollie's, but I think part of that's due to, although I like the cover, I think maybe they might have considered a different sort of style of design. But that I don't know. I'm not a marketer, but this is my only Playmobil figure. I have lots of Lego figures, but it's an actual working magnifying glass. And he has little spats. Let's see how closely he resembles. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's got the little cape. They only made a Sherlock, they didn't make a Watson, which is sad. But that's very cool. So my one and only Playmobil figure. I like it. I like the little spats. I think that's very cool. I wish they made all these characters, you know. So this is, if you can pick it up at Ollie's for $1.99, I think it's worth it. The next one I found was this simple little Space Adventures activity book, but I really wanted the R2-D2. I don't really care so much for the book itself. This is the part that I really cared about. Getting a good Lego R2-D2 is hard. The only one I have, it's a little dusty, is the one that came with my land speeder. That needs to be swiffered here. And what kind of sucks about this one is it was a misprint. It wasn't printed very well. This one, it has a much lighter gray top, and the the printing on the top was crooked, so it kind of bummed me out that my only R2-D2 was not printed very well. It's also like an older R2-D2, so So this is a nicer R2D2, and it also includes this book here. So the book is Defenders of the Galaxy, and it's typical Lego Star Wars comedy with little puzzles. No coherency. You know, you've got Obi-Wan and Anakin from the Phantom Menace, and Luke and from The Empire Strikes Back. It's for fun. Little puzzles. Yeah, it's kind of sad to see this, knowing what's going to happen to all these younglings. When you think about little younglings in the Jedi Temple, it's kind of sad to play little games. They don't fare as well as the little kids in Harry Potter and Hogwarts. So. How to build R2D2, the instructions. Now let's compare it. The same molds, but this R2 is it is and it isn't. The body is not as detailed, but the dome is more detailed and a better, more appropriate color. Still nothing on the back. My dome, as you can see, is crooked on my R2D2. So, although I'm probably gonna keep this one with the land speeder just because it's part of the set. So, but it is nice to have an update I can put with my other star. I might try to build like an original 12 or with Lego figures. So, you know, get a C-3PO and an R2D2 and everything. So that's just your standard little Lego activity book. If you're taking a trip, give it to your kid. And it's got little activities and a little figure. So far, this is still my favorite. I really like this. And the last set I have here is this one. And this is 3 books in this case with, excuse me, 3 figures. And it's a Luke and a Han with their medals, which is interesting because I also have a Darth Vader wearing a medal. But it's an Imperial medal. excuse me. And these are the ones they got for destroying the Death Star. So I'm not sure if that's a special series of rare Lego figures where they have those. And there's also Unkar's Brute, which is a Blink If You Missed It character from The Force Awakens, and I'm guessing this might be an exclusive figure. This is put out by DK, which up until recently made very respectable picture books, and now they will make anything. So, but they still make cool Lego tie-ins, and in this case, it includes 3 limited edition minifigures. It's Secrets of the Force, 2 amazing books, plus more than 1,000 stickers. And Meet the Mighty minifigures fighting the battle between good and evil. Use your stickers to join the fight. So, and this was originally $34.99, and it was $9.99 at Ollie's. So we take off the plastic, and we slide it out of the handsome case here, which is very hard. First thing we have is a very nice way to display your Lego minifigures if you don't want to open them, which is kind of cool because I mean, I guess these are all kind of exclusive. So it's got Han Solo, and these data files talk about like the figures themselves, not the character. So this figure was released in 2011. First set Lego Star Wars Character Encyclopedia Pieces 4. So this Han came with a, I think actually I did a video that had this one from a Character Encyclopedia that my wife owns. This one, the medal winner, Luke Skywalker, came out in 2009, and it came with a Lego Star Wars Visual Dictionary. So now I have a separate one. This one, Unkar's Brute, came with Lego Star Wars Chronicles of the Force. So interestingly, it says 4 pieces. It's because it doesn't have a hair piece, so it's got 3 pieces. And Unkar Plutt's henchmen wear scary masks to hide their identities. They aren't very smart, and Unkar mainly uses them to threaten people. So, this Luke Skywalker minifigure was specially created to celebrate 10 years of Lego Star Wars. This minifigure himself was caused for celebration. Luke has been honored with a medal for bravery after destroying the first Death Star, and Han Solo has received the highest medal of honor for his role in the destruction of the first Death Star. Cocky Han doesn't feel the need to dress up for the medal ceremony. What could look better than his cool blue jeans and black vest? I don't think those were blue jeans. I'm just gonna let that go. On the back, there's a flowchart that asks if you're a rebel or imperial. Do you like being angry? Is it nice to help people? Do you tell lies to get what you want? It's silly, but this in itself is a cool thing for these 3 kind of exclusive figures. Then we have the books. There's also this little thing to keep everything intact. So there's the first book is a hardcover book, Lego Star Wars Chronicles of the Force. Discover the story of the Lego Star Wars galaxy. And on the cover we got a freckled-faced Rey, Luke from Return of the Jedi, R2, Finn, Obi-Wan with the long hair from Attack of the Clones, Kylo Ren, the Emperor, Darth Vader. On the back we see some of the ships. We got General Hux and some stormtroopers. Ooh, this is never been open. It just cracked open here. Interesting split of Rey and Kylo Ren in the forefront, and then we get like Count Dooku, Darth Maul, a stormtrooper, angry Anakin, Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, Finn, Yoda, R2, Qui-Gon, and Padme. And we got a Jawa, classic Luke, BB-8, a General Veers, I'm not sure, a different Rey, old Han. Here he is, Unkar's henchman. I've been told to keep an eye on you, which is, he's got one eye. It has a timeline for people who have a hard time keeping up with all the Star Wars movies. That's actually kind of handy if you do have a hard time keeping up with Star Wars movies, because it covers through the Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels. There's oh my gosh, I should not do these videos after work, because it's a character I really like. Of course I'm forgetting everything. That's an Inquisitor, and let's see how long it takes for me to remember the name of a character that I really like. Not Ezra Bridger, but Kanan Jarrus. That's right. Yes. When you get after a long day of work, it is not unusual to have some slow recall. There is the actual land speeder that I have, which is cool. R2D2. So it's just. Here's another one of those, which side are you on flowcharts. Now we have the light side. So it's really just a fun little open at any page kind of fat, goofy book. And it's pretty much in the spirit of Lego Star Wars, where everything is just so goofy. Important Jedi. Poor Admiral Akbar, we were all upset when he didn't get the proper send-off in The Last Jedi. That's been debated to a really strange level. I mean, the Lego Han and Carbonite is this version that's 3-dimensional. I would love to have. The Lego Millennium Falcon would be fun. I just don't have room for it. I would love something like this Lego Cantina. That would be very cool. In a lot of ways, this is just an advertisement for Lego sets, because it's showing all of these really cool ones and all the detail, and you're like, wow, I wish I had that one. But this is actually the biggest Lego set I have. Is just this small land speeder, which is just sort of a nice little bookshelf decoration. But they did make some very cool. Oh, I remember these when these came out. I got one, and I believe it. This one, I got the best one. It came with the Lobot. I just wasn't into collecting planets. I just wanted the Lobot figure, but I don't know what I did with the little planet. Although that was kind of a nifty idea to have all the planets. If you had them all, that would be pretty cool. I have to admit, you have a Death Star and all of these planets, so that was kind of a cool idea. And that was just one part of it. Now we're at the dark side, and it's going to give you, along the same lines, it's going to give you facts about the dark side from the Lego perspective, which is silly. My first experience with Lego Star Wars really wasn't the figures or anything. It was actually the game. Back on, I think, the PS2, and I just on the chance it just looked like it'd be fun, and we got it. And it was, what we really liked about it was a two-person game, and there's so few two-person games, so we could team up and play together on the couch, and that was a lot of fun. And so we just got kind of like hooked on Lego games, and then for long we bought some Legos too, because we liked collecting them. And so both of us have like a nice little collection of Legos. And I really do like the close-ups that show you the detail in the plastic. That is actually just kind of cool. The evolution of Gamorrean guards as Lego minifigures. They started out quite simple, got a little better, and now they're just almost one click below an action figure. Cad Bane was just a fun, in Clone Wars show, he was an interesting character, but I think he was just one cool action figure. Like Boba Fett. These were just cool characters. You don't even really remember what they did as much as just how cool they looked. Hondo Wanaka, Tazu Leech. And we get to the glossary index. So glossary index. And this book actually has an index, like it's a textbook, which is interesting. So that is Chronicles of the Force. It's a special DK Lego book to go with this set that if you have at Ollie's you can get pretty cheap. And the last book I'm going to show you is the Lego Star Wars by DK Ultimate Sticker Collection. And it says more than 1,000 stickers. So let's see what we have. And believe it or not, if you're on business or something and you're alone in a hotel room or something like that, having a sticker book can be fun because it's something to do if you have no one to talk to, or if you need to put yourself to sleep. A sticker book is a very relaxing way to do that. So obviously you flip through here, and then you go somewhere. There's going to be a sticker bank in here. These are all iconic scenes from the movies, and like the cantina scene and everything. And it's still kind of an advertisement for Lego, but So you flip through, and then we get to the sticker bank. And here we have these photo stickers. And in my case, I don't know if I'm ever gonna, I think I might just keep this intact. Just this whole set, because I mean, the only bad thing about doing a sticker book is then when it's done, and then you got blank pages in the middle, waxy blank pages, and they usually also put some extra stickers in there. So then, if you're a little OCD like I am, then the little extra stickers will drive you crazy if they're not placed like all the other stickers, and then you won't ever want to open this up again. Now this is the part that would just flip me out, is all the stickers, and say you used a few of them and then you didn't use all of them, and then if you're OCD, that will drive you crazy. And I'm a little bit. So many stickers. Extra stickers in case you screw them up, like if you pull one off, you peel one off and it tears, you got a second chance. When they say 1,000 stickers, a lot of these are repeats. I mean, it looks like they just kind of, yeah, these are the exact same ones. They just kind of printed them twice. So it's really 500 stickers, and they've just repeated them. Okay, so just to recap, we looked at this set. We looked at this activity book and found this R2-D2 and this Hound of the Baskervilles, Sherlock Holmes Playmobil. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, please rate, comment, and subscribe.